Hi, I'm Lottie, I'm an artist from Newcastle and I'm here at the Palace Hub with Festival of Thrift to run a recycling workshop where we're going to be making cardboard animals. We're going to make a cardboard animal or a kind of recycling animal. And you can make whatever animal you want. So I've got a few examples of different animals. So I've got a little chicken, I've got a little bird, so a little owl, and then I've got like a shrimp or like a prawn from the sea, and then this big bear as well. I'm going to teach you some quick techniques of how to attach things using cardboard and other recycling. So we're going to be making some cardboard animals today, but because I'm not specifying what animal, you can make any animal you want and you can make an imaginary animal. So first up, if you're using cardboard, the kind of cardboard that you can get with cardboard boxes and packaging, another useful technique is if you have a square, say like this, and you want to crease it with a line down the middle, so you want the fold to go that way, it naturally always wants to fold on these lines, but maybe you want the fold in the other direction because of the shape of it. So you can do this by scoring, and all scoring is using a ruler and a pencil will do, or you can use a closed pair of scissors, and you just want to push down into the cardboard. So you're kind of drawing a pencil line but with a bit more pressure so you can hear the noise. So you can see there you've pushed through the first layer of cardboard, and then if you bend into that line you can get these nice crisp lines like that. Now if you were to do it without drawing the line, you can see that the cardboard just does this. Next up is I'm going to show you how to attach two different pieces together. So you can use all sorts of stuff. I've got Pritt stick here and PVA, sellotape, staples. I've even got some old cable ties left over from something, string, just anything that you have. So anything that I show you here, I might show you it using glue, but you could probably do it using tape. I've also got a hot glue gun. If you've got one of those at home, they're very useful. All of the different materials and ways of connecting have like pluses and minuses, but you can do most things, you just got to be careful about how you do it. So to attach two items, so for example here, if I wanted to attach this box onto the top of here, most boxes have already got these, so I call these tabs. So the tabs are a surface which you can use to connect to another surface. So if you were to stick this box on here and you didn't have these, you'd have this very thin line that the glue's got to connect to. And it's not strong enough to hold it. So if you use tabs like this, you can put glue on all of these pieces and stick it down, or you can hold it down and you can tape around these tabs so it holds it firm. Now, not everything has got a perfect tab attached to it, so maybe you want to attach this one, so this toilet roll instead, or kitchen roll, onto the top like that. And you can make your own tab. So if you use some scissors like this and you just make some slots up into the tube like this, and you can bend those over, and you can make, I've only done 4 here, but you can make lots of little ones if you want it to be a bit stronger, and then you can stick this down like that onto it and you can tape it on. So if it's over the edge of a thin box, a narrow box, you can kind of fold it over like this for a better connection. So the more surface area is touching the item that you're sticking it to, the stronger the connection will be. So you'd be placing it on the top like this. I'm going to do it on this side actually. And so I'm going to put the first one like that down the side. And you can see how it's falling off at the moment. And then another one over the top, and you can stick this down on the sides as well. You can see that that's already much stronger than if you tried to just glue the surface area of the top there.
Hello, my name's Isabel and I made a sausage dog. One thing I really enjoyed was figuring out what I wanted to make.
You can can see here inside I've got a tab that attaches these two rings together, and I've just kind of used one in between each of these, and you can kind of get this kind of motion, so it could be like a snake or something like that. Tabs as a way of connecting things together, and the other thing you can use is use slots. So using a slot is just about cutting up into a piece of cardboard like this, and you'll be doing the same on another piece, and then you can create those shapes together, and that way you've got something that stands up. This is another really simple slot, so I've just cut a little slot into that and then just put it onto the end here.
Hi, I'm Mabel and I made a horse, and one thing and I inside was just kind of finding out ways to do it.
So for another useful trick that you might find useful to make different shapes is making a compass from cardboard. So you might have used a compass at home and you might actually have one, but they're quite fiddly to use and they're often quite small. So if you're wanting a bigger circle than kind of this, most compasses that you have in school just can't make circles that big. So, and this one is much easier for small hands as well. So all you need is a piece of cardboard like this. It's better if the lines are running this way, for the same reason I explained before. So we're going to be using this compass and turning it around, and if you have the lines going this way, then it might change size as you're using the compass. So you need a piece like this and two pencils. So you want to put a hole relatively close to one end, and then you want to judge the distance. So if you want a very specific circle, you'd be using a ruler and you'd measure it across. So if you want a I don't know, 16 centimeter circle, you'll put your two dots 8 centimeters apart, and you want to put the one on the end in the middle of the cardboard like this, and then you just go around all the way around like that, and you end up with this perfect circle. You can also keep this piece of cardboard, so if you need multiple circles of the same size, you can keep remaking them, or you can make yourself rings. So if I show you by putting another couple of holes, go back to the middle, and go around. You can see how you can end up with rings like this.
Hello, my name is Maggie. I made a crocodile, and I think my favourite thing was looking at all the recycled cardboard and stuff and trying to figure it all out.
I've got this bear here that I've made. So he's completely furry, and you can actually see down at the bottom here, I'll show you on this camera, take his head off, that these are just strips of cardboard which are cut up into. I've used a cardboard which is painted beforehand, which is something that you can do either before or afterwards if you want to add colour. So the way in which you would do this is it's just as simple as a strip of cardboard like this, and I've just cut up into it. And I've not measured it, and they're different widths, and that kind of adds to it. So you're cutting up pieces like this, and you're kind of messing it up a little bit, and you can see that you just add that onto a shape, and it creates this lovely fur texture. Lots of different textures on here, so I've got like these kind of triangles which are quite scaly, maybe if you're making a crocodile. And again, if you look at that, it's just a triangle and I've scored down the middle. It's the kind of idea of repeating the pattern. On this one, I've kind of got these kind of circular, semicircle shapes. So they're very easily made from, if you get a piece of a tube and just squash down two bits like this, and you can see how that's kind of turned into an arch shape. So quite often if you repeat a shape over and over again, you get some nice textures from it. So yeah, there's all sorts of repeat techniques. There's kind of circles attached together. You can just kind of wiggle something back and forth. So if you're making maybe something like a crocodile, if you did a kind of a long one of these all the way down the back on quite a simple box, that could look nice. So yeah, these are little triangles from making this pattern.
My name is Noah, and I made a lion and a bug that it can eat. And I like making the man of the lion.
My name is Millie and I made the elephant and I really enjoyed making the trunk.
So I think that covers some of the basic ways of making it. I know that's not specific to making an animal, but once you know how to connect to things, it's about looking at the shapes in your recycling. So if you go through all the materials that you've collected and try not to look at them as the objects that they are, but think what they could be. So one of the things brought to this workshop is this enormous box, which to me is like giraffe, like immediate giraffe. So you've got to see the shapes and kind of like look past what the actual object is or was, and see what you can turn it into. So I've got a chicken here, which actually has a little head that moves. And this is a toilet roll tube. And this box here is a kind of a cereal bar box. So although that shape looks quite relatively complicated, it's quite a round shape from a square box. If you get a box like this, most kitchens will have something that comes in a box this kind of size, tea bags or something like that. And you can see it's got this shape. If you squish it together at the bottom here, like that, you've kind of already got the beginnings of here. So if you cut the corners off, you can see I've cut one corner off here, and that's where I've ended up with the hole that you can put the loo roll in. And then I've just squished in this end, so I've kind of just done that and attached with a staple, so you can kind of grab a feather like that, and then you can just use a stapler on the end, so you can very quickly attach something onto it. So you can kind of manipulate a lot of the shapes into something else. So have a rummage and kind of nothing is discounted is what I'd say. So those will be some of the techniques we'll be using in the workshop. I think the most important thing is that you just have a play and you can figure out how to attach things as you go along.